Can you take us step by step through that field goal block?
Yeah, the field goal block was what we call our crash. So it was, off the edge. We had Tommy coming. Tommy Hill came off to block it from the outside from the field, and Quentin was in what we call our scoop and score position. So he wasn't trying to block the kick. He was just trying to put himself in position that if the kick gets blocked, when the kick gets blocked, and keep telling him we're going to eventually get one. You're there to. We call him the scoop and score guy. In the playbook, it says scoop and score, but every once in a while you get the benefit of having it pop right to you. So we got good penetration by the inside guys. They muffed their operation a little bit, so the kick was a little bit low, but Elijah Judy got through. Ty Robinson got good push there, so they pushed the line of scrimmage back, which is what we're trying to do. And Elijah got it and knocked it right to right to Q. Q made a really nice play on the ball. Because the ball came up in the air. You want to say it came right to him, but it kind of didn't. He kind of made an over-the-shoulder catch, which, and as you guys know, if that ball hits the ground, we're probably getting tackled. But so he had it and it came over the shoulder, made a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and then had a clear path. And then obviously Tommy was coming off the other side to block it, so Tommy could run interference for him coming down that way. But it was well executed, and it was obviously a fun play to be part of.
And it seems like in every game this year, there's been one or two special teams plays where there's been a lot of chaos, ball on the ground or something like that. What's been the key, you think, to start getting more of those plays to go your direction than the opposite?
Well, some of it actually is luck. Having there was one on the ground against Northern Illinois, a punt, and I didn't have the proper block. You have enough guys blocking it. We were in a holdup, so you got to get the right call and have enough pressure. So we always try to have a combination of pressure, that we can put on these guys, and then and then have some guys holding up. So the job description of it, so part of it's luck, but also I think the players, as they get to understand the scheme better and understand where they got to be. Everyone's got a role. It has to be in a position. Like I can tell you, that early in the season, whether it was Q or one or other corners, we weren't in scoop and score position. Like, and that scoop and score position is literally in a square football position at the level of the holder. With Ben in your waist, and if you watch him on the film, he's literally like this, in a perfect position. So we grow into making sure we have all the guys in the right position, and then the really key is when they start coaching each other to get in that position. Then you're really making some strides where it's not just us coaching it and getting that done, but there's a little bit of luck involved. There's a lot of execution on special teams. There's 11 moving parts on any one play, and like a blocked field goal is a game of inches, and there's a lot of things like being on the punter when that ball hits the ground is important. Like we had the one bounce to us against Illinois when the kickoff hit the ground, and Grant was right there. It was right to Grant. So there's a little bit of luck involved with it, but Grant completely executed his assignment, which was he was cutting off of a twist off of another block, and he ended up right in the right position to make the play. So hopefully more of those bounce our way than not.
Was the 55-yarder by Albano important for his confidence, or was he already confident?
He's confident. I mean, the moment's not too big for him, and I think the one last week, Northwestern, the 47-yarder to come in and hit that one, I think led to the 55. So when Coach turns to me, we start off the day with a marker for like kind of where the success rate is on those kicks. And we put it there, but it's not really a distance issue. It's just a consistency issue. So we just got to, like any freshman player at any position, you got to develop a consistency in the routine and making sure that the balls are going down the middle enough times. But he has the leg range, and we had a little bit of wind going that way. So I can't remember. I think the goal that way was like 30 or whatever, the 30-yard line. But Matt looked at me and I said, "Yeah, you give him a shot," because we had a good favorable wind, and he was amped up.
A lot of talk about how injuries affected the offense. How some of those injuries affected special teams and who's getting some opportunities because of that?
It's trickle down effect. So yeah, we've played a lot of guys on on special teams. I mean, Malachi's out there doing a lot of things on offense, but he stepped in and took a couple reps on punt return. We played with, Stewart's played some for us, just stepped in there, and these are playing in spots where you might not notice them, but we played some freshmen, we played some young guys. Kobe Bretz has done a good job for us, and we've had guys like Taggy and Snodgrass and some guys that don't play a ton on the regular scrimmage snaps that are playing a lot for us, and they're doing a good job. So we're using a lot of guys. I think we used 46 guys in the last game on special teams, and we're using it's the next man up mentality like it is everywhere else. It's not like, well, this guy's down, what do we do? It's okay, here's an opportunity for the next guy to come in and try to make a play. So we've had a lot of guys that have stepped up and done some good things for us.
I know you looked at Ethan Nation at punt returner. Is he a guy that could get some opportunities in November?
Yeah, he could. I mean, he's definitely growing in the position, and I don't know what's going to happen with Billy, but Billy was catching the ball for us pretty good, but we need work on that. We need work on that unit across the board. Like that's not like, well, we had a tough game last game. That's kind of something that we've been trying to work on and get better. And to be honest with you, like I like some of the things that we're doing on special teams. I don't like where we are on punt return, and we've got to keep looking at things. But Ethan is a dynamic athlete that can do it. Alex had trouble with the wind a little bit, and just judging if you have never caught a punt before, it's hard enough, and you get so many looks off of a live leg during the week, and he's not the starter. So I'm giving a lot of reps to Billy. Now Alex is transitioning to try to get some reps, and the practice field and the indoors and the jugs, and there's different situations. It's not easy, and that wind, the wind is a certain. It blows a certain way on the field, and then when you get above the goalpost, it's a whole different ball game. So the ball goes up and it kind of kicks around a little bit and comes down. So there's a certain art to that. So we got to. That's part of it. But there's times early in the year where Billy has had an opportunity to catch the ball, and we just haven't blocked for him. And it's been a couple of different guys that haven't got it done. We've moved some personnel around, so that's a work in progress for us on that punt return team to just keep making strides with. Everything that we're doing. We look at everything that we're doing every week on every unit, but that one's we're still working on that one.
Talk about Quentin being in the right spot on that scoop and score position. He was also in the right spot when Alex put one on the ground in punt return. I know it kind of squirted out to him, but is that something that, how do you coach being in position to help cover up for mistakes? He had the kickoff return to start the game where the ball was loose, and then also a punt return. So what can you do to coach your players so you have a better chance to recover those? Two
completely different situations. So in the one where Quentin made a play on that ball, on that punt, that was a phenomenal heads-up play because we were in a poison situation. When I say poison situation, because he fair caught the ball, we're telling the guys to get away from him, because a lot of times, you're going down there, Quentin's blocking for him, and we're yelling poison from the sideline so that he knows that it's a fair catch. So now he starts to veer away. He was actually veering away from the returner, but as he veered away, he kept his eyes on the returner, which a lot of guys won't do. And he did it just a veteran player. He came back around, he squared his eyes, and he saw the ball, and he just went. He was on it like a shot. It was just a really opportunistic, outstanding play by him. The other plays are different. We have a saying, in terms of the piles with the kickoff. Snods knows he's got to do a better job holding on to that ball. Obviously, we can't put the ball on the ground, but the ball's on the ground and there's a pile. We're coming out. We're coming out of the pile with the ball. And Mackay came out of the pile. He had the ball, so we actually got the ball back. But they had it for long enough, I guess, off the review where they deemed that the ball was down, and it didn't happen on that one. But we're coaching that one when the ball's in the pile there, that we're doing creatively finding ways to come out of the pile with the ball.
We've had a lot of positive game-changing plays on special teams, especially the last couple weeks, even going to Minnesota, the fake field goal against Northern Illinois. Is that a prototypical thing for units that you've coached in the past, to have just so many positive plays that really just flip games?
I'm looking more at the other ones. So I'm looking at the ones I'm trying to fix the ones that are negative. So I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it that way. I just try to put the team the kids, the players, in the best position to try to get the ball back. And that's the one. And if we don't get the ball back and we give up one on the kickoff return, like it was like a trade for me. Like that's how I felt after the game. I'm like, great, we got one, but we gave one away. That's not the world that we want to live in on special teams. We want to make the plays that are gonna change the game without making the ones that hurt us. So I'm looking more at those. But yeah, I mean, we're not trying to return a punt for a touchdown, by design, or block a punt. But we just have a series of jobs that you have to do in order to get the ball secured and get it going in the right direction. Our first goal returning a punt is to catch the ball and get a first down. That's 10 yards. If we can do that, that's a win. We haven't done that all year. We haven't done it once. So that's not good. So that's what I'm looking at that to work on. And I'm not spending a lot of time saying, hey, we scored a touchdown, but it is from the kid standpoint, it's awesome when the work that they put in leads to a play like that. And you could look at that play and be like, guys, this is what happens when you get in the scoop and score position, when you penetrate the line of scrimmage, when you get your hands up in the proper fashion. It's really good technique, and we've been working on it. And here's the thing about, when you block kicks, you got to go 100 miles an hour, like 50 times just to block one kick. So now, once you get it, there's the belief that you can get it every time. So in my history, blocks are kind of contagious because there's a little bit of a belief there. And our kids play really hard, but there's something about it once you start blocking it. And the other thing, hopefully, on the punt side of it is once you start blocking punts, that opens up opportunities to return. So this is a long race. There's a long way to go, and every week is a different challenge. But we're celebrating the big plays, but we got to fix some things that are broken on our units as well.
Has Buschini done anything this year to get more consistent? Like, have you seen more consistency from him as the season's gone on?
Yeah, he's been great. Like he if you look at him after the Colorado game in the punts where he's placed the ball and his hang times, and he has had one punt with the wind where I said, let it rip. And it was that 59-yarder the other day. It was. He's like, Coach, but it's on the. He knew it. He was like, Coach, I'm going to pooch this ball because I don't want to hit it in the end zone. I said, you've been pooching enough balls now. Let this one rip and let's see where it goes. And the thing went 60 yards. The thing was that would have been a 75-yard punt if the ball was back any further. And it was about a 4.8 hang time. So I've limited him, but it's the situations that have limited him to. Where his numbers, I'm not a numbers guy when it comes to the punt. If you got a punter that's out there and he's putting the ball, in the spot that you needed to put, and you're making hits like Mondo made, where the ball's caught and we're hitting them right away, you got some operational things that are working. That punt was placed perfectly. It was into probably a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and it went 44 yards with a 4.4 hang time, and gave Mondo enough time to go down there, get released, and make that play for a net gain of 0. So those are the things that we're really focusing on. And if you look at him over the course since Colorado, he's hit some balls. Sean, don't get me wrong, but he has really done a good job of putting the ball where we want it to go, and and going and fielding it and making the play.
One more thing. You mentioned belief. Not just with special teams, but with this team as a whole. How have you seen that kind of buy-in and belief grow among this group as the weeks have gone by?
It's going that way. There's definitely guys. The guys are starting to coach themselves and coach each other. And get that done. So you can see it when it happens, when it's kind of you're saying it, and then the guys start to say it, and then the older players start to coach the young players are coaching the other players, and it starts to work that way. It's working. So there's more belief, there's more coaching, there's more encouragement, there's more culture going on from rep to rep. So it's getting better. Thank you guys.